Welcome back to the channel.
Today, we are packing up, leaving Little Rock, Arkansas, and heading to Memphis, Tennessee.
So if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe.
Come get lost with us.
Heading into Little Rock. That's that cool building we saw from inside. The Capitol Hotel. That's really neat.
Yeah, it looks nice, honestly.
Capitol Hotel right there. Turn your mic on correctly, Gary, in the future. Wasabi Bar and Grill Sushi. Okay, and a really old looking building. That's pretty neat. They got some weird artwork. Or I shouldn't say weird, but different artwork.
Yeah.
Outside the front of the Marriott.
The Louisiana Purchase.
Fascinating. This is really cool. This is a pretty cool little area. Definitely a really strong mixture of old. And it's kind of cool they do have rail cars. We saw one this morning.
Now we're going to go over this bridge again that we drove over last night. And that was all lit up, but we could see from our room.
Yeah, different colors. And it like switches colors throughout the night. It's pretty awesome. All of these do, actually. There's a picture in the lobby, and there's like I think there's like 4 or 5. There's 5 of them in a row. So if you have a drone and they let you, that'd be a pretty cool picture.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All the way over there.
There's a fair.
Yeah, there's a fair going on. All right, let's get to our first stop. Some more old buildings. Just thought were really cool looking.
Mm-hmm. Definitely in like the downtown historical district is what it kind of looks like to me.
Historical district?
It looks historic.
It's a historical district, y'all.
And that's why you don't punch it at lights, folks.
Bepo. I don't know what that is. That was a pretty cool neon sign. Whatever that was for. Yeah, look at this nice little architecture. Definitely a little town. Pretty nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I like the Dogtown Proud. I don't know what that means, Dogtown. We're heading in.
So where are we?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see when we get inside. We made it to the Old Mill Park. Check out that bridge over there. That's really cool. There's the old mill across the way. Someone's doing a photo shoot there. Let's get a little closer. I know we came for the mill, but I'm fascinated by that bridge. Look at that. It's like rocks. And then there's some like wood tying it together. Pretty cool. There's the water for the mill. And there's the mill in the distance.
Now, this is the last remaining structure from the film Gone with the Wind. Did they build this? They built this
I believe so.
for the movie, and this is the last remaining physical structure from the set.
So there is the structure in the movie. Let's see.
Tara.
That's it.
Old Tara.
So what is this?
Tara. That's the name of the plantation, is Tara.
So this is supposed to be on the plantation. So is it seen more in the movie than just the credits?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go and look inside and see what's inside too. Just kind of taking it all in. It's a really nice public park.
Yeah, gorgeous.
These running waterfalls. It's a nice sound. To the house in the distance. The little bridges, y'all. Wow, on that. Don't fall, Nancy. Got some duckies scooting along. They're watchers of Gone with the Wind, I'm sure as well. Oh, they're coming to the edge and they're trying to swim out of it. They're making their laps. They're NASCAR fans, I'm guessing, because they only do circles and left turns. Kind of makes sense, though. Arkansas seems like pretty south to me. All right, check it out. That's the old mill. A little backlit, but that's the old mill. Wow, look at the other side of it. It's not very big. It is really nice. Look at the inside of this thing. It's wow. There's like nothing to it, y'all. It's really simplistically built. There's 2 floors. There's Nacy making her way in. What you thinking? Yeah, there's not much to the top story. There's not much to the top story here. They got some of this like old furniture up here. That's pretty neat. The stairs are a little worn, just in case you're wondering. But here's our view outside. Yeah, top. Oh, look at that thing go. Yeah, this thing out here, I'm not sure what that thing is. It's pretty fascinating. So they got the mill thing sitting in the middle. They got this little chair over here too. But this is what the inside looks like. It's pretty straightforward, but really cool and rustic.
I think they like lived upstairs, basically, like in original mill houses. Like this was like the working part of it, and then they slept upstairs.
Probably. Alright, I'm gonna head outside on the walkway. Check out what they used to brace the stairs. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how all the pieces seem to be here to run it like that, but it is not connected. Now look how close to the water this is. At this low end, you're almost on top of the water. There's another interesting little hangout there. Alright, heading out off the bridge. Heading out off the bridge. These bridges are really worn down, just in case you're wondering. Alright, one of the cool things is look at all these man-made bridges. They kind of look very like natural. There's this one that cuts across. There's this one that goes down there. And then there's this one that goes to the house. And then there's this one that goes into this little clouded area. It's pretty neat. So this is apparently Pug's Mill in 1832. There is a historical sign up at the top that we'll show you when we get up there. I like how the wheel spins around with just a little bit of water. Just keeps on spinning, spinning, spinning into the future. It's kind of interesting. There's this little like cave next to it. I'm not going to go into it because that looks for...
Looks like it's not there than there.
Yeah. This is the side of the building. Look at that. Interesting they have some like fake mushrooms. Those are like mushrooms made out of some sort of concrete. What were you saying?
Okay, so in 1931, Justin Matthews, who was a developer of the Lakewood neighborhood, which is where this mill sits, contracted for the construction of a replica of an old water-powered grist mill dedicated to the memory of Arkansas's pioneers. Neither the stone mill building nor the general layout is a reproduction of any particular mill, but is a familiar design of early Arkansas design to fit the contour of rough area. It was completed in 1933 and is intended to appear abandoned, absent of doors and windows due to thieves or decay, just as old mills that were in service in the early 1800s had become by the 1930s.
Cool history, and then they found it for Gone with the Wind and used that.
Yeah.
Nicely bound in the interesting looking. This is what it looks like from the top of this strange bridge. There she is over there, the mill. Pretty cool. Yeah. So this is what the rock looks like. It's definitely not a smooth way down. And here's the shot from the other side. Here's the other side of that bridge. That's pretty neat. It definitely, I would think it was man-made, but it looks like it's not. So I think they did a really cool design choice there. There's a little picnic area. There's tons of people taking like wedding pictures and stuff here. Nacy's taking someone's picture for them. Yeah, there's the old mill. One last look before we head to the car. Really cool. Here's some of that information they had earlier on the sign. Another pretty cool sign out here. Memorial Park. Greater Little Rock Historic Preservation Award.
It was really fascinating to see. It's just in like a residential neighborhood. It's a beautiful park. If you're in Little Rock, it's definitely worth a quick stop if you don't have a whole lot of time. It's free to get in. There's tons of parking.
Agree. Yeah, it's a really cute area. The bridges and the like construction around it really sort of add to that depth of it, or I don't know, maybe the realism of it being like an abandoned old mill that you're saying. The bridges, everything is like thought through and constructed. It is a little slippery and could be, if you have some mobility issues, might be an issue. But you'll still be able to see it from sort of like a far viewing point.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And as a Gone with the Wind fan, it was really cool to see something that was in the movie.
I've only seen it a couple times. I do remember that scene from the credits. Really, really cool. And to see old movie nostalgia, it was built in 31, 32.
Yeah.
And it was used in Gone with the Wind by 39, so they probably filmed it in like 38, 37, because it used to take a lot longer to make films. Yeah. But it's fascinating that they found this in the middle of like Little Rock, Arkansas, filming in Hollywood, and they're like, hey, there's this cool mill out here, let's go film at it in the 30s. That to me fascinates me about how that whole process goes. And it still looks amazing.
It does. And they keep it up. There's a whole like historical thing to it. And I just love that they maintain it and keep it for future generations to see.
Great. So we've got another stop coming up in Little Rock. Let's see where we get to. Check out that church steeple. Check out the church itself. Look at that. That's pretty cool architecture. I like that clock. Our next stop on the sightseeing tour today is a National Historic Site.
This is Little Rock Central High School. It was the site of this is where the Little Rock Nine ended up eventually going to school, and followed by the crisis of Little Rock.
Here's the building. It is beautiful. It is massive. But look at it's sprawling. It's definitely understandable why this is where they decided to make their stand, the NAACP. Seems like a rather nice street too, and affluent. So we're at the Little Rock High School.
Yeah, Little Rock Central High School.
So it's interesting. So the Little Rock Nine were basically chosen by the NAACP. They sent out a sort of request to see what students wanted to do it a year before, and then they got a selection back. They picked 9 students. Now they don't say how many students actually tried to get in the program or how many they sort of weeded out, and then they put them through like an intensive few months long sort of preparation for this. So they trained them about what they were going to see, hear, feel in the situation, and then they picked 9 of the best students that would respond in that situation, and that's the 9 that actually made the final cut that would do the walk. Now then, the night that it happened, they were going to carpool to the school, so they didn't want to take they didn't want to take buses. They wanted to all come together to protect themselves.
Yep.
But one of them didn't get the message.
And that is where this really famous picture of Elizabeth Eckford came from. She missed the carpool and ended up walking by herself.
There's the picture on the Wikipedia page. So there she is, walking into the school, being yelled at. So then the governor of the state basically sent the National Guard in and other police forces to stop them from coming in. So that's kind of what you see in the picture. That's also the people who came, free will.
Yep. And then they ended up having to get the National Guard. Well, the National Guard came to stop them from coming into the building.
So when the governor requested, the National Guard came because of the governor's request. So that was the governor's request, was the National Guard and the police stopped them. Then Dwight D. Eisenhower had to get involved after Brown versus Board of Education in 1957. They basically sent the military, the 101 Airborne, and they also recalled the National Guard that protected the school, and then called another National Guard in to force them to allow them to enter the school.
I cannot imagine what it felt like during that time in this place, and like the emotions that were felt literally right where we're standing.
Yeah, I mean, the doorway we showed you is right up there. This walkway leads right to that door. That's where she would have been heading to try to get into the school.
Yeah.
and the way they would have confronted her. Just a fascinating history, and really interesting how a governor stood in the way, and then the president used its force of the office to basically say, no, this is what the law says, and force them to accept it.
Whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
it needs to happen.
Definitely standing in the foothills of history. Now, if you're looking for the monument, that's actually at the Capitol building. Just so you know, in case you're looking for that, this is just the school, and you can check it out. But as I said earlier, I don't know if this is an operating school, but looking in the windows, it does look like there's still school here. So
Yep.
Know that if you come during the week.
All right, we're gonna go check out another stop.
Yeah. So around this pond here, it says the 9. Thelma Mother Shedware, Melbo Patillo Beals, Ernest Grain. I believe he is the first one that graduated. Elizabeth Eckford, my apologies. Minnie Jean Brown Trickery. All the past, present, and future students. Clara Ray Carlmark, Terrence Roberts, Jefferson Thomas, Carlotta Walls Lanier. Those were the 9. And again, I think Ernest Green was the first one to graduate.
Yeah, this is really cool, honestly.
And there's someone taking their graduation pictures up there. Check out this cool mobile gas station across the street. We're gonna go take a look at it. It's definitely been restored to back in the day. So there's the mobile gas station. Check out these old gas pumps and stuff. This is really neat. Some mobile gas. That's so cool. The gallons are only in cents, by the way. Oh, check that out. They like spin it to give you gas. That's really cool. What's it talk about?
This is the service station that was built for the Magnolia Petroleum Company of Texas in the 1920s. It was called the Southwest Model. This station in Little Rock was identical to the Houston, Texas station, which is pictured over here. We'll show you guys in just a second. And essentially, in response to a 1911 Supreme Court decree against monopolies, the Standard Oil Group was broken into 34 companies. One of the successor companies, Standard Oil Company, acquired full interest of the Magnolia Petroleum Company of Texas and some other regional oil companies. And that happened in 1931. And then that became the Saucony Vacuum. I don't know a whole lot about oil and gas. And then it looks like they were trying to pioneer the way for like new lubricants and new energy resources. And then they changed the name from Saucony Mobile Oil Company in 1955 to the Mobile Oil Corporation in 1966. And then ultimately in 1976, it became the Mobile Corporation, which I know we all see a lot of mobile gas stations when we're out and about driving.
Think about, they broke up a monopoly that's bigger than, the monopoly now of mobile gas is bigger than it was then, and they still allow it to function, whereas they broke it up then. So don't let them tell you it can't be done.
And so Central Heights Museum Incorporated purchased this property to use as a visitor center, and then the Mobile Foundation assisted in restoring the exterior of the station in 1957. And, to its 1957 appearance, sorry. So this is what it looked like in 1957 when the Arkansas 9 went to high school. And then there's also a picture over here of what it looked like when the troops rolled in that day in September of 1957.
Oh, so that's what it looked like when the troops rolled in. Now, I'm hoping those are the troops that Eisenhower called, not the troops to keep them out, but we'd have to look at the actual dates. And then there's the original place from Texas, too, that they modeled after.
So this actually used to be the museum, and then they moved the museum across the street.
Yeah, there's a nice new building across the street. We're going to check it out. It's probably closed because it's a Sunday, but we'll see what the hours are and stuff. There's the National Park Service big sign for the Little Rock Central High School, National Historic Site. So this is the current visitor center. There's a shot of the 9 getting escorted into the school after Eisenhower got involved.
3 weeks in September. It was a 3-week ordeal because they tried and they blocked them from entering. And they just kept coming back, and they just kept pursuing and being persistent. And, you know, it's crazy how much change happened because of that incident around the country.
Here's some pictures of the folks outside protesting, them actually getting into the school. So apparently they did make it in the second day. They got in a side door. They didn't go in the front door. But soon after, they only were in school for like 3 hours before they were escorted out because they feared for their safety because it was getting rowdy outside.
And what's interesting is they chose this school. I think the NAACP chose this school, this town, and these people to make this decision because the events here in Little Rock were broadcasted across the nation and the world and were the first important test for the enforcement of the Supreme Court ruling that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal.
So there's a shot of the 9. Well, that's only 7 of them. 8 of them. So that's the 8 that probably came with the carpool, with the 9 missing it.
There's their study group.
And there's their study group. The amount of things they had to prepare for, I can't imagine.
And the things they saw and heard, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
It's a sad part of history that we can't forget, y'all. They have the 14th Amendment on the wall, in case you don't know it. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the U.S. And then the visitor hours are on the door. It's closed Sunday and Monday. They're open 10 to 4, basically Tuesday through Saturday. So this is the downtown area for the Flying Fish. You can either park street park, or we parked in a parking garage behind the Courtyard Marriott. But there it is. The Flying Fish. Out there. Check out this building, the Museum Center. That's an old school building. Look at that. It looks like an old school almost. Oh, there's the... Zach Bryan will be here. The Flying Fish. That's where we're heading into, right there. There's the... That's a cool neon. Macy first. This is the beginning of our Billy Bass adventure. There's another Billy Bass. Check out all the Billy Basses. If you ever wanted to send your Billy Bass to a graveyard, this is the first. It's funny, there's a catfish one. Oh, there's a Jaws one. Check that one out. I didn't know there's a Jaws Billy Bass. You think that there's a lot of Billy Basses, and then they just keep going down these hallways. It's on both sides, y'all. And you put your name, so whoever, Nikki, Autumn, and Jackson donated this one, 12909. So they're all donated by people. Ooh, rainbow trout, catfish. Let's see what every kind of Billy Bass is at this point. Look at how big. It's the world's first. There's a little sign about it. Alright, so they take responsibility of feeding, loving, cleaning up after your Billy Bass as long as he shall live. Adoption rules. They give you a basket of catfish too if you adopt them. Check out this. Oh, there's a lobster. It flows through this whole restaurant. Oh, look at all of them. Look at all of them out here. Ooh. Oh, there's one with Kansas City on it, so you could paint it and donate it too. Oh, this place has a ton of Billy Bass.
So here in downtown Little Rock in the River District is a restaurant called the Flying Fish. Now we're not really sure when this trend started, but essentially they have become a Billy Bass adoption center. So if you guys remember in the early 90s into early 2000s, everybody was buying those singing Billy Bass fish that you could put on the wall. Well, essentially this is where they all come after everybody is done with them. So if you have one, consider taking a trip down to Little Rock, Arkansas, because what they do is you bring in your Billy Bass, you fill out some adoption paperwork that gives them, they'll make sure that they love them, they take care of them, they feed them. It also says you can visit them on weekends or weekdays. And then after you turn it over, they give you a basket of catfish. How cool is that? Now, there are literally thousands of Billy Bass all over these walls. And we ordered some food too, so we're gonna try some of their seafood that they have here. So we're excited. This is pretty cool.
I got the shrimp po' boy. It looks tasty. Comes with hash browns, french fries.
Hush puppies.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, hush puppies. I said hash browns, my fault. Hush puppies. And then which one did you get?
I got the fried grouper po' boy.
Oh, fried grouper. She probably should have got catfish in honor of Billy Bass, but she said grouper instead.
I don't eat catfish.
She does not eat catfish. All right, let's take a bite on camera.
I got the fried grouper po' boy, and it comes with lettuce, tomato. This looks so good. It's still steaming. Like, this looks delicious, and it smells amazing too. I did put a little lemon on it because I like lemon on my fish. The seasoned breading on that fish is delicious. It really just kind of enhances it. If you know anything about grouper, it's not a very fishy fish. It's more of like on the lighter side. Absolutely delicious. The bread is nice and toasted. Just a little bit of mayonnaise to kind of bring it all together. Wow, this is amazing. 10 out of 10. And it's got a little bit of spice right at the end that hits you after you swallow it. Giggity. Anywho, let's see what Gary thinks about his shrimp po' boy. Gonna gusty up his shrimp.
All right, I'm gonna try my shrimp po' boy. Wow, that's some really tasty shrimp. The nice tomato bite in there with the good fresh shrimp taste. The roll is fantastic, nicely brown. Oh, that's really good. French fries. Come for the Billy Bass, stay for the food. So we're gonna finish up eating our meals and we'll come get you on the outside for our cruise over to Memphis. A little better shot of that flying fish sign. That's a really cool neon. It's a pretty cool mural. What'd you say about it?
It's really pretty.
Sorry, zoomed in there. It's really pretty, huh?
It's a really pretty mural.
Heading out of Little Rock. Gotta say, one of the coolest parts about this journey is that I've seen two natural wonders. I saw the Grand Canyon, and now I've seen the Billy Bass Adoption Center.
Right. That was really cool seeing the Billy Bass Adoption Center. The food was good too, so
yeah, food is definitely worth a visit.
if you're driving through Little Rock, it's really not that far off the beaten path, and they do have a parking garage, so you don't have to street park. Check it out if you're in the area, for sure.
I agree. Now we're heading to Memphis, and we'll see what we can get into on the way there. But honestly, it's a really short drive. It's less than 2 hours. So that's kind of fascinating. I didn't realize Memphis and Little Rock, Arkansas were so close together.
Yeah.
We've made it out of Little Rock, heading towards Memphis, but I wanted to give you an update on the landscape. We've just basically hit farmland again.
Yep. Middle America, man.
Middle America. Greener than we've seen. Definitely just gets greener as we go to the East Coast.
Not sure how much we have left in the state of Arkansas, and then like when we hit Tennessee, but I'm pretty sure Memphis is like right on the border.
I think so, yeah.
Of Tennessee and Arkansas, so.
I think so. Most of the time we'll probably be in Arkansas. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Whole lot of green. All right, on our way to Memphis, and we're about 20 minutes outside Memphis, about 15 miles. The GPS updated that there was dead traffic, so it said we should take this alternate route. Nacy fought it first 2 times, But then she finally accepted the Lord and Savior Google.
Lord and Savior GPS. It kept adding time. It was like, oh, this will save you 8 minutes. This will save you 10 minutes. This will save you 15 minutes. And I was like, all right, well, it just keeps ticking up, so maybe we should listen. And we got off, and sure enough, it was like a parking lot, like not even a mile down the road from where we were.
Yeah, it was literally the last exit before the thing. And now you see the road we're on. Absolutely empty.
Not a thing.
We're scooting along. There's the road that we would have been on. Look at that traffic. Slow creeps. Slow creeps. Hopefully we're not getting back onto it. Another view of it. Just cruising along the side. Just dead stopped almost.
We are getting back on it.
Yay! Heading over the Mississippi River into Memphis. This is a pretty cool bridge. You can see off to the left the Bass Pro Shop. That's in a pyramid. But we probably will check that out. I don't think it'll be in this video, but definitely subscribe because it'll be in the next one. But yeah, check this thing out. It is so cool. I love old bridges. Look at that. Look at the metal. The metal work on that.
Here we go. We are officially in Tennessee.
You're the only 10 I see.
That was sweet.
See how I get shot down, yeah? There's the Bass Pro Shop over there. You can actually see the sign on the outside. Let me zoom. There you go. It's so cool. Yeah, we're getting off exit 1, going into the downtown area. And that's Memphis in the distance. Some city views from Memphis with some bugs on the windshield, but that's Memphis. There's the Peabody, huh? Texas de Brazil. So apparently at the Peabody Hotel there used to be gators in the fountain. Interesting fact. But then also during World War II they allowed soldiers to sleep in the lobby and on the mezzanine. So kind of them to allow them to sleep in the open areas. And of course it's the National Register of Historic Places, another one that we've added to our list that we've been to. Something else cool that's outside, they have like duck prints with different people's names on them. Philip Bells is in front of the door. A random find as we were walking along, there's a horse-drawn carriage. That's pretty cool. Look at him go! Lansky Brothers, apparently they used to clothe the king according to their mural. They have the Memphis Music Hall of Fame down here. And we're going down to Beale Street. That's pretty cool. The B.B. King's Blues Club. Alright. This place is interesting. It's kind of like Bourbon Street. There's Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame, bar and restaurant. He used to be a wrestler. Here's some Beale information. You want to check that out? Pause the video, feel free to read.
There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
Really loud.
Check out that architecture right there. It's basically the sides of buildings being held up by metal rods to make it look more like a street, I guess? That's fascinating. Check out this old neon Rum Boogie Calf. So we got Coyote Ugly here, and then there's this cool old theater out here. Welcome to Beale Street. And then I also like the home of the blues, Beale Street sign at the end. The Daisy Theater. So that's the home of the blues, Beale Street. That's a pretty cool sign. And then they got Ghost River Brewing across the way. And there's some kind of stadium over here. I know they have a basketball team, but I'm not sure what else they have. They do have some musical notes on the ground. Otis Redding. It's cool. Story and legend.
They go all down Beale Street on both sides.
What's that?
The notes go all down Beale Street on both sides.
All right, that concludes our adventure here today. Heading to Memphis.
Yeah, we did a lot of exploring around Little Rock, Arkansas. A lot more than I thought we would find, honestly.
Yeah, seeing the Arkansas 9, then heading to the Billy Bass Adoption Center.
Getting to see one of the last remaining sets from Gone with the Wind.
Super cool day.
It was a really awesome day, easy drive here. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to see. It was a little bit boring, but we got in. It was still daylight. We still got to explore. So, yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah, we ended the night with some room service at the Peabody.
So if you guys like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up.
Hit the subscribe button.
And make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified when you do at least 3 videos a week.
And we'll come and get you all for the next one.
Ain't that the truth? Baby Ruth.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.